Police also point out that Holtzclaw violated protocol after one of those traffic stops. After Holtzclaw allegedly assaulted Shardarian Hill, he actually friended her on Facebook. These are some of his messages. Making sure you're doing okay and staying out of trouble, reads one message. And on at least 5 occasions, he asks her to call him.
We don't Facebook friend people we put in jail. That's just stupid.
And when his girlfriend found out about it later, even she wondered about that.
Did you think it was weird that he Facebook friended one of the women?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at first when I asked him, why would you do that? And he said he was just trying to help her, and I was just trying to be a good guy and make sure she was okay.
But it's not just that you Facebook friended her. You went to her house in your personal car. Why would you do that?
Basically, just check up on her, make sure she's okay. I should have not done that. I was wrong, but I did not do anything to her. I did not come on to her.
That is not what Shardarian says.
And when he got there, he was trying to get me to have sex with him.
For the most incriminating evidence of all, that elusive mystery victim, the DNA from Holtzclaw's uniform pants. Kim Davis and other detectives searched through records of every person Holtzclaw checked for outstanding warrants.
First name's going to be Carla.
So it was gumshoe detective work. Yeah, it was just hitting the streets, putting on our tennis shoes and going.
And then the tennis shoe detective work pays off. Detective Kim Davis locates a girl who may be the most important witness of all. A 17-year-old. Holtzclaw had given a ride home just hours before pulling over Janie Liggins. The teenager tells police Holtzclaw assaulted her, too.
He started, touching me like this and put his hands on one of my clothes and started fiddling on me.
Did he say anything then?
He was like, well, you know you have warrants, and I don't want to have to take you to jail today, so this is what you're going to have to do.
Davis then swabs the teen's mouth, collecting a DNA sample.
To compare to any DNA that we've got on his clothing.
They send it off to the lab, and bingo. It's a match, confirming that her skin cells were found inside the fly of Holtzclaw's pants. He says there's an innocent explanation. He may have picked up the girl's DNA searching her, and then transferred it to his pants during a bathroom break. But the police are certain that DNA is going to put him away.
When you got that DNA match, what went through your head? Well, I said I was going to do a backflip off my file cabinet, but I didn't. I was just ecstatic because that was the DNA moment.
As expected, Holtzclaw's defense attorney, Scott Adams, attacks the credibility of the 13 accusers. Some of the women were in jail on other charges during the trial and testified in their orange jumpsuits. Some changed their stories. And then there was the one who came to court to testify high on drugs.
We know that she tested positive for PCP and other drugs.
He knew this. He patrolled those streets day in, day out.
He knew they might not stand up in a court of law.
He knew they would not stand up in a court of law, and that's what he was banking on.
How difficult is it to mount a case where you have witnesses showing up high on PCP, you have witnesses with a history of lying to the police? These are not easy witnesses to put on the stand. No, it was horrible, and plus it gives the defense just a million things to attack.
But the first woman Detective Kim Davis interviewed, the grandmother, Janie Liggins, was not like the others. No long criminal history, no record of addiction or prostitution.
Let me ask you about Janie Liggins. She immediately reported the event after it occurred. Why would she make that up?
Let's get the factual facts out there. She's not innocent what you people think she is. She had a bust in the 80s, but we're going to present that to the jury.
Yeah, but how does a 30-year-old drug bust, how is that relevant to a rape case?
It's credibility. It's her credibility. This is not a woman that's, a soccer mom or, someone that's credible in society.
Janie Liggins says she wasn't even charged in that arrest in the 80s, and she's never been in trouble since.
The thing is he's been stopping a lot of prostitutes and drug users. I guess apparently he thought I was one of them with a big mistake. He just stopped the wrong lady that night.
When the trial ended, they all lined up. They all were looking for the money trail on this.
Detectives were approaching these women saying, basically giving them a lottery ticket, and all you had to do was just say yes.
What do you mean by they handed him a lottery ticket?
So all they have to do is to go throughout the court case, cooperate, go on stand, and then now they're going to be, billionaires for something, that I didn't do.
He has nothing to hide from
The defense called only one witness, Holtzclaw's girlfriend.
Why would he do it with these people? You know, if he wanted to go out and sleep around with people, he could go find people on the north side or people where he's from. It just doesn't make sense.
Because it's not about sex. It's about power and control. It's all about, look what I can do to you, and you can't do anything about it.
He says at first, a number of them were ready to set Daniel Holtzclaw free. They just didn't believe some of those women.
There was some jurors that, due to the fact that who these victims were, had a hard time believing them.
For the last 5 weeks, Daniel Holtzclaw has walked into this courtroom and his face has remained expressionless.
Finally, the jury returns. They have verdicts on all 36 counts. The judge silently scans each page of the jury form. Daniel Holtzclaw is visibly shaking in his boots, seemingly paralyzed with fear, despite claiming he anticipated a favorable outcome.
Were you convinced that they were going to find you not guilty?
Absolutely, 100%. All in my heart, within my family, within everyone that was on my side, they all said there's no way that you should be convicted.
And then the judge begins to read out Daniel Holtzclaw's fate.
Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery and set punishment at 8 years. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition and punishment is set at 5 years. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 20 years.
And as the guilties pile up, physically pushing down on Daniel Holtzclaw, the powerful former football star, the aggressive rookie cop, collapsing before the eyes of the courtroom.
Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree and punishment is set at 30 years.
His family stunned.
His tearful reaction to the verdict made some people think, oh, well, those are tears of an innocent man.
Now, those are tears of a man that got caught, and he's not remorseful. He's just sad that he got caught and he's being punished.
The woman who did more than anyone to make this day happen, sex crimes detective Kim Davis, says she will never forget the other woman, Janie Liggins.
Janie Liggins says you're a hero.
No, I just did my job. She's the hero for coming forward. If she wouldn't have come forward, I don't know where we'd be today.